Winter can bring on seasonal depression and leave us longing for the light and warmth of summer's sun. I seek to find the gifts unique to this season and use them to my advantage. The golden hour is especially beautiful in the garden, and the longer winter angles of light make it especially so. And winter also brings special visitors to the garden. The creeping raspberry is dormant now, with a covering of leaves from the large oak in the front yard. The leaves are also protecting the baby lettuce that some children sowed for me before the holidays. My favorite flowering herb is the highly medicinal yarrow plant, and its fern-like appearance is beautiful as a ground cover all winter long. The signs of spring are beginning to emerge. Daffodils surprised me under their cozy blanket of fig leaf litter. We were pruning the fig tree back hard this past week when I discovered them nearly crushed underfoot. And the fig tree branches will make perfect kindling for next year's fires. I also tend to the larger compost pile that is made up of decomposing hardwood chips from what is called Ramial wood, less than 7-inch diameter limbs from hardwood trees such as oaks. I avoid all trunk wood and softwood limbs such as from a pine tree. Ramial wood is loaded with nutrients not found elsewhere in the tree's structure and breaks down quicker than trunk wood. I bury our kitchen scraps in it, and in a year we'll have an abundant source of rich, dark compost for the garden. I crack open the fall pumpkins I placed here to soften. It is easier now to open them, and I leave the seeds for the birds and the flesh to decompose. I hope for some seeds to sprout in the spring and produce a pumpkin patch here with little work on my part. I can't believe I actually need my hat and my sunglasses today. And I'm sitting here by our campfire getting ready to cook over it because it's actually mild enough to be outdoors doing something. One of my favorite educators, Charlotte Mason, wrote, "Never be within doors when you can rightly be without." And so I think, why cook dinner indoors when I can cook over an open fire right here in the suburbs? The thyme surprised me with its cold hardiness. It looks completely unfazed by the recent freeze, and I trimmed some for the lentil stew I will cook over the fire pit. Its near neighbor, the rosemary, on the other hand, has quite nearly met its demise, which saddens me. This plant has been thriving for many years and only has some remaining green leaves on a few of the stem ends. Once the fire has been going for about an hour and I have a good bed of coals, I tuck wrapped sweet potatoes down into them to bake. Then it's time to prep the rest of the ingredients for the stew. Perennial herbs such as rosemary, thyme, and oregano are an essential part of winter gardening as they enliven so many hearty dishes. I have pre-soaked the lentils in hot water for about an hour and then added a couple of tablespoons of mushroom and vegetable seasoning base before bringing it out to the fire. I add in onions, garlic, and the remainder of the herbs and let it gently simmer for about an hour over the fire. Some leftover mashed potatoes as we find that their flavor works well with the lentil stew. We add hot coals to the lid of the Dutch oven to help heat the potatoes from the top. Add some cheese if you like. The sweet potatoes are perfectly roasted and make a nice complement to the savory stew. The garden still gives so much in winter. Our region is blessed with mild days that beckon us to come out and play. Build a fire, watch the smoke rise, feel the heat, harvest what you can, and look for signs of life. The garden will be there for you winter, spring, summer, and fall.